Hey guys, welcome back to Realtor Chat. Today we have new agent Vinny with us, and we're going to talk about everything that you need to know when becoming a new agent in today's complicated market. So the first thing that we want to get into is an introduction with Vinny. So Vinny, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Hi everybody. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I've been in Tampa for about 13 years or so now. I've always wanted to do a career in real estate, but I had a lot of questions that I never really got answers to, but Hector was kind enough to dive in, and we go back about 10 years now, so he was, very well familiar with the way I work. And when I'm not working, I'm usually just cheering for the Buffalo Bills because I'm a little bit of a Bills fanatic like that. Nice to meet everybody. Looking forward to working with you all.
Well, first and foremost, the Bills are probably going to do better than the Buccaneers this year.
One of the first questions that I wanted to ask Hector is that there's a lot of people out there that really want to enjoy a career in real estate, myself being one of them. And based on the trends in mortgage interest rates over the last few years, I myself have extensive history in the mortgage field. I've noticed a huge drop off in loan applications. There's been many people affected by layoffs because of that downward trend in loan applications. So myself, and I'm sure plenty of other people, were always wondering, is now even a good time to get into real estate? Because what impact is that volume of mortgage loans having on the real estate business? So that was the first question I wanted to ask for Hector.
Great question, and I will say that this is probably not the same for all people or companies. A lot of them may be actually doing less volume than they did last year. For us, one of the big pushes was market share. So market share, effective January of this year, we met with our team and said, hey, our push for this year is going to be to increase market share by whatever means necessary. And we've accomplished that. So far this year, we're up 39%, where some companies are probably 10 or 20% below what the previous years were. We're excited to say that we are doing well. A lot of that has to be with the whole philosophy that people buy people before they buy a product or service. So they can attest to the way that we work, and some of those consumers may either refer us to their family members, or perhaps we'll get some additional market share through our corporate relocation division, which is a division that we didn't have previously. The one thing, being in the industry for some time, that I do know is that sales will never fall to zero. It's impossible. We constantly have 1,000 people moving into Florida per day. So it's a question of who's helping those 1,000 people. During the short sale and foreclosure era, despite the fact our economy was crashing, we still had sales happening every single day. And that doesn't change today. In fact, my first year in real estate full-time, in a 6-month period, I sold 26 homes, mostly foreclosures. So all you have to do is adapt to the environment that you're in, and you will succeed. And that's one thing that we have a really good track record of, is adapting to our environment. Increasing market share, so you do have to increase your marketing expenses. You either have to partner with a team or a company that make sure that they have your best interest in mind, and make sure that they want to see you succeed. A lot of our agents have come from other brokerages where they didn't have a ton of sales. They come over here and their sales grow drastically, or maybe even have no experience whatsoever, and all of a sudden become a top producer. So there's a lot to be said behind the support that sits behind the agent.
All right. Well, thank you for the information. I'm sure we'll put a lot of folks' minds at ease that are looking to get into the field of real estate. The other question that I had prior to onboarding was, what are the biggest challenges associated with jumping into a career in real estate, mortgage rates aside, or maybe that is the biggest challenge, but can you tell us a little bit about what the biggest struggles are or challenges right now?
Absolutely. The first thing that people need are people to work with. And usually it takes some time to build up that pipeline. And again, whether it's contacts provided by your brokerage, or if you have an abundance of cash and you want to pour a ton of money into marketing, you can, but you still need the back-end support, because there will be a lot of questions as a new agent that come up during the process. So I would certainly say that number one is either partner with someone who has what you need, which is people to talk to. If you have no one to talk to, it's one of the biggest reasons why most real estate agents, in fact, it's 87% fail within the first licensing period. It's because they never discover what it is to actually work with people, that they can do it on their own. It takes a village. Real estate can't be learned in a day. In fact, purchase contract changes every few years. So you have to adapt to that. What changes are in the contract, and how does that impact our consumer? How can we convey that to the public to make sure that we have their best interest in mind, and make sure that they're fully protected? These are things that you have to make sure that you either know, or partner with someone who does know. I would say that that's the first step, because otherwise you're spending money on your board dues or your monthly fees through GTAR, super boxes, lock boxes, whatever it is, with no return, which inevitably will lead to failure.
Well, thank you very much for the info. Always insightful. Thank you.
So Vinny, what actually made you decide to have a career in real estate?
The biggest thing for me was I wanted to be part of a team. I see videos like this and I see the team, the culture that Weichert has to offer, and it is genuinely, truly appealing. It's the kind of career that I could see myself doing for the next 20 years or so, rather than for the last 10 years or so I've been in a cubicle sort of staring at four walls. And for some people that's perfectly fine, but for me, I've always been outgoing. I've always wanted to be out and about, meeting people, shaking hands, kissing babies. So for me, the office environment just wasn't anything that I just didn't want to be a part of it for the next 20 years or so. I mean, I want to enjoy what I do with a team of people that I enjoy being around. So that was the first thing for me, is what was most important. The second thing is that I've been through the home buying process, and I've been in mortgage lending, and I know how with every transaction there's a family on the other end, and when these transactions close and when you find someone their dream home, it makes a huge difference in people's lives. And you know, it's a special day for everybody that's involved, and you know, it gives you the warm and fuzzies. And I think that's something that I also want to have be one of the foundations of my career going forward. So you know, a career in real estate just kind of fits all the pieces together, and it was easy decision to make once I realized that that's what I wanted.
Great. So Vinny, what's one reason that a consumer should use you to help them with their real estate purchase or sale?
I think one of the reasons people are going to love working with me is because of my commitment to what I always call white glove service. It's something I learned working on high net worth mortgage teams for, you know, however many years. And what that basically means is just treating all your clients with the utmost respect and importance. Follow-up is key, and is something that I find to be one of the most important aspects of partnering with a real estate agent or realtor. So that's going to be the biggest thing, is just building that relationship, that partnership, and my commitment to just caring and really wanting to be a part of your special day. I think the other thing that will set me apart will be my experience in mortgage lending. A lot of times folks have questions that they want to ask to mortgage loan originators that, and maybe they don't have one yet. Maybe they just need nudge in the right direction or just some general information. I'm happy to provide that support and that guidance based on my career experience. So that will be something that I think will be very useful for some of my clients. The last one would be my familiarity with Tampa Bay, and you know, being here for the last 11 years or so, I've built a lot of relationships and seen the city in its entirety, so I'm very familiar with the whole area.
That's it, guys. You've learned everything that you can about Vinny himself, his reasoning for getting into real estate, his questions that he had prior to getting into real estate to make sure that he can have a successful career, because he does have a family and he needs to make sure that he provides for them. So thank you for watching Yellow Chair Chat. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more. Make sure to leave your question in the comments below if there's anything that we can address.